Hello, Oracles. So Tesla Giga Canada, eh? So it seems like we are getting some strong rumors over on Twitter coming out of Canada as far as a lot of hiring going on in the Montreal area. We are getting some other rumors that we have talked about before from Blue Collar Disruptor saying that there's big lots that are being cleared. Elon alluded to this and kind of hinted at the excitement at the annual shareholder meeting for Giga Canada. So we are getting a lot more signs pointing in this direction. So as we get more information, I will share it with you guys, but it sounds like we are heading that way. Now moving over to Giga Shanghai, looks like we got in some preliminary numbers out of China and Shanghai as far as deliveries go. We'll get into those in a minute. Just wanted to break down some little bit of information that we have, some things to pay attention to over the course of the day today. So looking at yesterday, looking at the day chart, we actually had a cup and handle over the course of the day. So I don't know if any of you had noticed, let me know if you did, because we talked about it on here for the last couple of weeks. And so we created the cup and handle, and then sure enough, at the end of the day, we got that breakout. So, we were looking at the day, we were down for a good chunk of the day, came and rallied at the end, and then we broke out right at the end. So today looks like we should be testing that $280 resistance level now, which was a very strong support over the last week or so. So looking at these numbers, looking at where we're heading, then I start to look at, all right, well, where's the sentiment along with this? Because it all goes hand in hand. What is going to cause us to break out? What's going to cause us to break down? What's going to cause us to stay on the trends that we're on? So right now we are looking at that $280 resistance level. Can we break through that? And then if we do, we are still on a downtrend. Do we go and break that downtrend by breaking above 290? Well, today it looks like we are going to be getting the jobs report. Some of the expectations coming out of the jobs report. We are looking at an expectation of non-farm payrolls of 300,000 versus 528,000 in July. We are looking at an unemployment rate of 3.5%, which stays the same as it was in July as well. And then we are also looking at monthly average hourly earnings going down to 0.4% from 0.5% in July, and year over year numbers going to 5.3% versus 5.2%. So these numbers here, when it comes to employment and inflation, these are the two things that the Fed really pays attention to as far as their adjustments go for the interest rate hikes. So we'll pay attention to these numbers today because if the numbers come in hotter than expected, then the Fed may be leaning more towards a 75 basis point hike. So this is one of those other numbers that factors in. We talk about CPI and PPI all the time, but the jobs report is an important one to pay attention to also. We'll get those numbers today because that could dictate whether we break out further and maybe cross that threshold of 290 and then go and break this downward trend, or if we're going to continue down. So we find this number out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. It'll be happening pre-market, so we'll know before the day even starts how the market is going to react to this. We've also seen it in the past where we could get a little bit of a fake out and then come down. So maybe we get the jobs report, the market opens up, we go green, and then we pull back over the course of the day. It's Friday, we could get a Friday fade. I know I'm all over the place with, not giving a true prediction. It's hard to predict near term when there's market manipulation and a lot of other things going on. I just wanted to give you guys a lot of different scenarios to pay attention to and different key data points to look at as far as, all right, well, if we're moving in this direction, it was probably caused by this. Or if we get this information, there's a good chance that this could happen. And so, we've seen it in the past all year long where we get CPI or data that comes out and we think, oh, we're going to rally and the market rallies, and then all of a sudden it just sells off massively the next day. It happens a lot, which is why predicting near-term movements in the stock market is nearly impossible. So I try not to do that. I just want to give you guys a lot of information to just see what's going out there, to give you guys more information so that you can do your own due diligence and research and make your own decisions. That's really all I'm trying to do, is just give you guys some knowledge that I have and things that I'm seeing so that you can make more informed investing decisions. And now I'm not going to make any predictions, but I am still holding my buy orders in at $250. I do still think we are going to trend down in that direction before we rebound. I can be totally wrong, but that is the way I am doing it for my own personal portfolio. Some other great news that came out of Tesla, and again, when you're a long-term investor, day-to-day stuff is just kind of an educational tool for me and an opportunity to buy more at lower prices, just something I'm paying attention to. I also dollar cost average every day, but long-term, we want to look at the fundamentals. Fundamentally, looks like we're getting some preliminary numbers out of China, looking like we're around 77,000 vehicles delivered for the month. So this is awesome, and it's not a record. We had that record back in June when we were right around 79,000. So maybe we do break it, maybe we don't. Not a big deal either way, because I have very strong faith that we are going to be doing that in September. We made a video about it earlier this week. I'm pretty sure we're going to be breaking 100,000 vehicles for deliveries coming out of Shanghai alone for September. Looking at last year, we had a July where we were over 30,000 vehicles delivered, 40,000 vehicles in August, and then 52,000 vehicles in September. So looking at this year, we know that July was slower just because we had the downtime for the Model Y. Even in August, we had downtime for about a week for the Model 3, and we're still pushing these numbers. We had a lot of vehicles that got carried over as inventory from July to August, so that could have boosted some of the August numbers. But we are looking at very strong production. We should be getting the production numbers pretty soon. I think we get them usually second or third week of the month, so it may take a little while to get those, but we should be getting the true delivery numbers over the next week. So this is a great sign, and then of course we know that Shanghai does mostly domestic deliveries in the last month of the quarter, which is September. So we should see a very strong September coming up, and seeing the August numbers gives me even more conviction that we are going to be hitting over 100,000 vehicles getting delivered in September. And then looking at the year-over-year growth, we're at almost a 100% year-over-year growth for August of deliveries. So looking at September, we're looking at probably the same thing. Now this is amazing for a company the size of Tesla to still do 100% growth year over year. And remember last year, yes, we had the supply chain issues, but Tesla was still smashing all the expectations last year, and we're going to double those numbers this year, despite the fact that we still have some headwinds. So this, again, the fundamental baseline of the company, you can look at the dailies and look at the daily movements of the stock price, and that means absolutely nothing in the long-term picture. The numbers we're getting for deliveries and production, that is what means a lot for the long-term future of the company. And if we can go through a time when we have a lot of headwinds like we do and still double year-over-year numbers, that means that we are heading in the right direction exponentially. I cannot wait to see what we're going to be looking like next year. And Sophie had inspired me this morning, and I had mentioned it probably a few months back about, going into times like this, we're in the uncertain market, not really sure what's going on. We had a very nice bull market for like 12 years, and now we're like bear market, not bear market, kind of very uncertain times. And at the very beginning of the year, I said, you need to prepare. Chance favors the prepared investor. And being prepared means having cash flow generation coming in, having cash on the sidelines, and coming up with a strategy that works for you so that you can make the best investments you can over the course of the next couple of years, as we're kind of working our way through the interest rate hikes, high inflation, and all of the weird macroeconomic stuff that is going on around the world. So preparation is key. It goes back to what I do for my races. All of my races, I was able to get through those sub-freezing temperature races for 24 hours because I prepared. You can go out there and you can survive, and that's fine, and survival will get you through it. But if you prepare properly, you can thrive on the other side of it. This is what Tesla is showing that they are doing. They have prepared for this. We talked about it on last night's video about, Tesla preparing. They look so far down the road. They have insight 20 years down the road, and they come back and figure out all the problems they could possibly see over the course of that time, and they're ready for it. They're like the dad over here with, his cargo shorts and everything he could possibly need. He's got a fanny pack, he's got a knife, he's got Band-Aids. Everything you could possibly need. Dad is prepared. Tesla is dad. Tesla is prepared for everything that could possibly come up, which is why when we get to these headwinds that we do, we see so many other companies faltering and falling way back, and Tesla just thrives through it. They don't just survive, they thrive on the other side of it. This is because they are prepared, and you can do the very same for your own portfolio. Having the cash flow generation, having cash on the sidelines, having yourself a lot of different streams of income coming in means that you are prepared to handle whatever happens in the market. And the fortunes that are born during a bear market are fortunes that are born from people who were prepared. So let me know in the comments below, how prepared have you been for this market over the course of the year? Did you have to make some changes over the course of the year? I know I did. I had to make some serious changes. I kind of saw it coming, but it hit me a lot sooner than expected. But I made the adjustments, and now I'm here. So let me know what preparations you guys did, how you are handling this market, and what you're planning on doing to thrive on the other side. And just a reminder, we will be having our live stream tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We will be having Vinny on from Investment Club. I'll break down some of the charts for you guys as well. And then any other questions you guys have, feel free to join us over there and we'll have a nice chat. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. We do have a Discord chat. That link is down in the description. And if you'd like to support the channel any further, we do have a Patreon. That link is also in the description. Thank you so much. Have a great one.